And we are back with another episode of Straight Out the Lou. I'm Dylan, and I'm here with Luke and Chris. Today, we're going to be going over the top conferences in college sports. We'll be ranking the Power 5 conferences. We will also be ranking the top 5 divisions in the NFL. And we'll also be looking at our hometown teams, the New England Patriots and the San Francisco 49ers, both coming off big wins this past weekend. All right, boys. Power 5 conferences ranked in order. Let's go 5 to 1. So bottom to top here. Chris, you want to start us off?
Yeah, so I'm only looking at football and basketball because they're the only two sports that make money. So I'll start at the bottom. Very easy at the bottom, Pac-12. Easily the worst conference. Both basketball and football. In terms of, I wanted to if we were just doing basketball, the Big East would probably be like 3-ish for me here, but we're not. So I'll keep going. The Big 12, 4, solid, very solid. And I have the SEC third because they're an absolute disgrace basketball-wise. That is the SEC. Listen, the SEC is the best football conference. That is 100% true. Not even close. But it may be the worst power basketball conference. It is absolutely horrendous.
That's true.
I believe it should disband as a power. I don't think it should be considered a power conference in basketball. That's how bad it is. The Big Ten second is a little bit of a down year in football, still solid. They have the best basketball conference. And I got the ACC number 1. I was thinking about it here. It was tough. They're doing well in football. They got 2 playoff teams. And obviously, they're very solid in basketball. They got a lot of good teams. So that's my rankings.
You can't count Notre Dame as a part of the ACC.
They're in the ACC.
For basketball, they're
coronavirus.
For basketball, they're also in
season.
basketball, they're in the ACC, like, permanent.
I'm going this year.
But, okay, this year, okay, all right. But if you're not counting baseball, I could maybe see your Pac-12 argument. But
baseball doesn't make
perfect example this past weekend of just how exciting Pac-12 football can be.
You're joking, right? You're kidding me. There's a reason they don't play on Saturdays.
You don't think that these games are like absolutely electric?
I love the Oregon game because I love watching them lose.
You ever watch the MAC games like Tuesday and Wednesdays? Those are electric too. Doesn't mean the conference is good.
You have plenty of like NFL talent coming out of the Pac-12. I mean, they're good players. It's not like they're shitty players out there.
Name one.
Name one who? Name one what?
Name one
like one good player?
Yeah.
Fucking Justin Flo. There you go.
That guy's a freshman.
5-star linebacker.
He's a freshman.
Top recruit.
The best coach in the Pac-12 is at Oregon State. That's how bad this conference is.
That is true.
There's no good quarterbacks in the conference. Basketball, God, they are horrible. I think.
What happened to your guy? What happened to your guy at Arizona State? The quarterback for Arizona State.
Oh, Herm Edwards. No, Herm Edwards is the best coach in the.
Okay, Jonathan Smith is.
What
second.
happened to Slovis?
Slovis sucks.
Yeah,
Slovis does not suck.
Slovis and Daniels. Okay.
Why does Slovis suck?
Because he stat pads against horrible teams. Like if you look at his completion percentages against actual teams, he's like in the 50s.
Yeah,
his offensive line does suck though. I will say that. But I don't.
He puts up some crazy numbers though, and I think those numbers, I mean, against any team speak.
They also run the air raid, so they throw it like every time.
Yeah, his coach is also an idiot, but he's not a first-round talent.
No, probably not. But he's definitely going to be on an NFL roster one day. You know, like there's NFL talent in the conference.
Oh no, I'm not saying
the games they play. There's talented players, and the games are always exciting.
He's not like Phil Jerkovich at BC, but he's not like the second coming to Jesus, like what you're saying.
No, for sure. No. He's not there, and I may have been a little too hot on him in the preseason, but he's definitely like a top half talent. At least
another year, maybe.
Talent.
He's got another year. Maybe he could be the Joe Burrow, Kyle Trask. You never know.
All right,
Mac Jones.
Let me give you guys my conferences here. 5 to 1. I'm also taking into account baseball as like a third sort of sport, but definitely basketball and football before that. So I have the Big 12 coming in at 5. I can't respect their football, especially not this year. But obviously, they're always very strong in basketball. I mean, not compared to the Big 10 and the ACC, but they're strong. So Big 12 comes in at 5. The ACC comes in at 4. Besides Clemson, that conference has zero talent in football. I understand that. I understand that. I can't. No. I can't.
Won a national
I
championship in
can't
the
put
last
Notre
40
Dame in
years.
there. I can't put Notre Dame in there. I can't for football purposes for the ACC. I understand the basketball argument. I'm not a huge college basketball guy. They're gonna come in at 4. A little questionable, but they're there.
Yeah. Well, also the ACC is the best basketball conference the past 10 years besides this year.
No, yeah. I mean, you're right.
Talking
Yeah.
about. And their baseball is loaded too.
Who's in there for baseball? It's like a powerhouse.
Miami, Louisville, Duke, North Carolina, Virginia.
North Carolina hasn't been good in a long time, though.
Just the number 2 team in the country 2 years ago.
Yeah, but they didn't make any noise.
Still number 2 team in the country. Still nasty.
All right, fine. That might be a bad ranking. I have the Pac-12 at 3. A little biased there. I do think that their baseball is up there with the best, with Oregon State, Arizona State. Stanford's usually very nice.
UCLA,
what's that?
UCLA.
UCLA, obviously. UCLA, obviously. Baseball could be the best conference. So that I would say that puts them over the ACC just for me. But in terms of football, a little lagging behind. There's always talent, like we were just saying. Games are competitive, but top to bottom, it's pretty. It doesn't really compare to to the SEC or even the Big 10. Basketball, you have Oregon at the top sometimes. Hit or miss there. 2, we got the Big 10, and number 1, I think hands down the best conference out of the Power 5, the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the same list as you, but I'll start off with the most obvious statement anybody can ever make. The 5th conference is the Pac-12. I mean, this conference sucks at football. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. Basketball, they're also the worst conference. Awful. And then baseball, they have UCLA, Oregon State. They're solid. They're solid second in baseball. Okay, then the Big 12. Big 12's they like to put up points. They got a lot of guys drafted to the league in football. They always get blown out in the playoff, but at least they make the playoff. Then their baseball is solid. They don't have great baseball down there, but I mean, Kyler Murray used to play baseball there. And their basketball is very good. Texas having a great year. Their basketball, they usually always have a really good player. Really like the way that the Big 12 play basketball. Number 3, I went with the ACC here. I can see, Chris, why you put him at 1, but I think that Dylan's got definitely a case with Clemson just being an absolute powerhouse, that without Notre Dame in there for football, which they are in there for basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a real argument between the top 3. You could put any of them at 1, but I just put the ACC there just because Clemson's so dominant that they've just been killing everybody in the ACC. And the ACC hasn't had great recruiting. They haven't been great at marketing their football that well.
That's not the conference. That's one team. I mean, if you're going to rank the top of the conference, then
no, I'm saying the ACC hasn't done a good job at marketing their football.
I know. So how are you going to put them number 1 over the SEC?
Because their basketball is unreal. Basketball.
Yeah, but their basketball's here, and then the football, the whole conference in terms of football.
Clemson's won the Natty though. You got to put them in there. And Florida State,
but it's the whole conference, Luke. The whole conference, not just the one team that's at the top.
Pac-12 has none at the top, and I would say the ACC is also deeper than the Pac-12.
Pac-12 has none at the top and no depth. So.
Yeah,
deeper than no.
Dude, I don't know what we're talking. Did you just watch the Oregon game last week?
Yeah, Oregon State.
Did you see how the refs were also trying to rig that game for Oregon? Oh, he was down a half line short when he clearly crossed the plane twice. It's unbelievable. I was like, they're really going to hope Oregon wins and they can actually get a chance.
That was a weird game, man. That was a weird game. That fog and just the whole aura around the game. I mean, obviously, Alabama's not going to go in there and lose to like an Oregon State team, or like a Florida is not going to go in there and lose. Oregon is not great this year. They're definitely, people were saying that they could possibly be a playoff team. There's no way. There's no way.
I mean, I understand the West Coast bias here, but just no. I mean, just no. The Pac-12, just no.
Compared to the ACC with NC State and Wake Forest and
who would all finish like third in the Pac.
Oh God, I don't know.
BC's a good team too. BC's a good team. They would probably go like 5-2 in the Pac-12.
That is awful. I no BC.
How is that awful? I don't understand how that's awful. Okay, and second
of
all,
the Pac-12 is like within the Pac-12. Basketball. Within the Pac-12, like there is a lot of competition, like against each other.
They all suck though.
No, they really don't. They really don't. They go out and beat these teams that you're saying could go in and be 5-2 every year when they play out of conference. Like teams like UCLA and Utah go out and beat these.
Oregon beat Auburn. So Oregon beat Auburn last year, right?
No, they did not. That was the beginning of the year. That was the beginning of the year, and that was a weird game.
They lost to Bo Picks. They lost to literally the worst.
I'm not a big Oregon fan.
I'm ready to rip into it later.
I'm not hot on Oregon at all. I think that program has been overrated since.
I don't know. I just don't know how you can argue for the Pac-12 football program. And the only reason the Pac-12 is kind of relevant is because their baseball is pretty good.
No, the Pac-12 football argument is just that it's like not extremely competitive when you compare it to the other top conferences like the SEC, Big Ten, but within itself, it's like very exciting, like football. If you want to watch like a good football game with talent,
so is the
MAC. Watch Pac-12. No, because the MAC is fucking bullshit talent. There's no good players in that.
If I want to watch a good football game with talent, I'll turn on the SEC.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're talking about here. So at number two, very close at the top because, as Chris stated earlier, SEC basketball pathetic, Big Ten basketball elite. But I got the Big Ten coming in at second here, and the only reason is the SEC has much better football depth recently, past like 4 years. I mean, Penn State now sucks. Penn State's one of the – and you guys lost to Penn State. We're going to bring that up later today.
Depth, but we have like last year they would have gotten like 11 teams in the tournament from the Big Ten, and the SEC would have gotten like 3. So
we're talking about football.
I know, but you said, they have better football depth, but the Big Ten has way better basketball depth.
That's what I said. I gave you basketball.
Yeah, well.
I'm not denying basketball, but football's a way bigger moneymaker for sure. So that you got to factor that in. And then baseball, the SEC. Dude, the baseball in the SEC is
I know.
unreal.
I didn't include baseball. I get it, yeah.
Those guys host, 16 teams host those tournaments, and probably like 9 to 10 of them are SEC teams. It's unbelievable. So they get the slight edge. That's why I kind of said that basketball and baseball cancel out, kind of. Even though basketball, no doubt, way bigger moneymaker. But I just think football, it's just too much. I think the SEC is just the best conference.
Yeah.
All you got.
All right. Transitioning to the next segment here. We're going to do another top 5 ranking. This might be a little quicker, a little less debate, hopefully. So, again, 5 through 1. Top 5 divisions in the NFL. I'll start us off here. So at number 5, I had a tough time ranking this division. At the top 2 teams are very strong. But I'm going to have to put the NFC South at number 5 with the Saints and the Bucs at the top. The Panthers and the Falcons are 2 teams that, they can go out and be competitive on any given week, but I'm not going to put my money on them to win against the top half team in the NFL, really. It's 2 decent teams, but 2 teams that aren't decent enough to put this division above the 5th spot. At number 4,
you got 4 divisions better than the NFC South.
Oh yeah.
You're not gonna like my number two division, but yes, I do. At number 4, I have the AFC South. With the Titans. What do you mean? The Titans and the Colts up there at the top. Very,
They
very
got the
solid.
Texans and the Jaguars.
The Texans were a playoff team last year that made noise.
At least the
won a
Falcons
game
can somewhat.
in the playoffs.
At least the Falcons can somewhat compete until the last 3 minutes of the game. I mean, these teams are an absolute joke. Jaguars.
No,
and Texans
the
are
Jaguars
absolute
are a joke. The Jaguars are a joke. They're going to get the number 2 pick in the draft probably. But the Texans are a very formidable team. They came out last year, beat the Bills in the playoffs. Deshaun Watson is going to be a top 5 quarterback for the next 5 years.
You love bringing up that they beat the Bills in the playoffs.
Because that's a great win. A win in the
No, it's
playoffs
not.
with a terrible team and a young
Bills team is
quarterback
not good.
is huge. It's huge.
The Bills team was not good.
Getting a playoff win under a young quarterback's belt is huge, and that guy has nothing but potential, and he's proven it this year. Time and time again with absolutely nobody around him. And you have the Colts and the Titans at the top of that division. It's a great division, and it's coming in at 4 for me.
He's really good at
coming in at 4
in the AFC divisional games.
Number 3, we have the AFC North. This one I had a tough time with. The reason I put it at 3 is because the Steelers, undefeated at the top there. I like the Ravens, even though their record isn't really reflective of where many thought they would be. But I do like the Ravens. They probably will lose pretty badly this week to the Steelers, given that Lamar's out. And then you also have the Browns there right now at 8-3. Total joke team. They won't do anything, but they're 8-3. I mean, that has to count for something. So they're coming in at 3 for me. At number 2, I have to put the AFC West at number 2. I have to put the AFC West there with Mahomes at the top with the Chiefs. And then I have respect for
Hold on, no, you got to talk about the Raiders who lost by 40 points to the Falcons this week.
See, we're not counting this 1 week though. We're looking at the whole picture. The 1 week is counted, but it's a small
How about the
section.
Broncos quarterbacks this weekend? Stellar.
Yeah, wow.
Come on, that's not a fluke. That's a solid Broncos team that came out and made your team look like a JV high
Our
school
team sucks because our team sucks.
Yeah, so who else are you going to put there? I have to put them there.
AFC North.
I have to put the Chiefs there.
Yeah,
AFC West there. And then at number 1, I am going to go with the NFC West. Any team in that division could beat any team in the league on any week. So
All right.
that's the 5.
That's enough. All right, I'll go. I'll go right now. At number 5, I got coming in as the. Unfortunately, I don't know how Chris is going to feel about this one. I don't know how you'll feel about this one, but I got the AFC East, just because I feel like every single team is so goddamn average that when they play each other in the games. Yeah, the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Dolphins aren't elite teams.
3 of them. 3 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I just can't get over the Jets. The Jets, man. I just can't get over the Jets.
Yeah, well, the Chargers are in the AFC West, so.
The Chargers are solid, bro. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's a solid team.
No, it's not.
What are they missing offensively?
A quarterback. They don't have a quarterback.
Oh my God. You guys got to stop with that. I got over it. It's time for you guys to get over the Herbert hate.
No, he sucks.
That sucks. All right, so I got the AFC East coming in at 5. Then I'm going to go with the AFC South, the Titans, the Colts.
So you yelled at Dylan for having them at 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I put them at 4 because I think the Colts are a very underrated team. And I still don't like the Texans and the Jaguars there, but he made a solid point about how they put up a fight in most games, Texans. So, I mean, it's a solid point. They got the quarterback. And then at number 3, I think this is pretty straightforward. I'm going to go with the NFC South. The Saints, the Bucks, the Falcons, the Panthers, even though the Bucks look like a little league team. I think this is a great division. I think the Panthers have been they've only lost by double digits once this year or something. So they compete in every single game, and they're in last place in this division. Number 2, AFC North, Steelers, Browns, Ravens, and then Bengals. You got Joe Burrow coming up next year. And then the NFC West is obviously the best division in football.
You just swapped. I mean, not swapped, but you substituted the AFC West and the.
Yeah, I didn't add the AFC West. Yeah, unfortunately for your boy down in LA.
I know you love conferences or divisions where games are competitive with NFL talent. So why didn't you put the NFC East in there?
The NFC East, because those games are ugly and not competitive. Did you watch the Thanksgiving game between the Redskins and the
The football
Cowboys? Or
team.
the
They're
football
winning
team?
out.
The
What did
football team?
what did I say last episode? The football team.
Did you see the 4th and 10
They're winning out.
fake punt attempt by Mr. Mike McCarthy, who apparently does not like to think negatively, only thinks positively.
Great
That was
call.
what he said after the
That's a
game.
great call.
Strictly
That's a
positive.
great
You knew the football team needed to score some more points.
Unreal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had the NFC South at 5 and the AFC South at 4, same as Dylan. Solid, but I can't get over the Falcons and Panthers. They suck in the NFC South. The AFC East at 3. The Bills and Dolphins it pains me to say this, they're good teams. And I know the Patriots suck, but they are, I guess you could call them the definition of average. So they're 3, and then the AFC North and NFC West, 2 and 1. Straightforward.
That is fairly straightforward. I would get behind that list before I get behind Luke's.
I had the exact same 5
I'm joking.
divisions. You had the AFC freaking
AFC
West.
West is really questionable.
Yeah, what's
You
up
have
with
the
this
Raiders-
West Coast
you have the
bias?
Raiders-
Like,
you have
Jesus,
the
gets back to
Raiders-
San Francisco for 3 weeks, and now he's all
You
over
have
all
the
these.
Raiders who beat the Chiefs once already.
They
That's
lost to the
Chiefs'
Falcons by 40
loss.
points.
I understand. That's the Chiefs' only loss on the year. They should have beaten the Chiefs 2 weeks ago in that game. That should
The
have been
best
a win
team in the
for them.
league, yeah.
I know.
Doesn't-
And you have the Raiders coming out and beating this team. Should have been 2 victories against them. And they come out and are very, very competitive against every other team. They have a winning record. The bottom half of that division is very solid. Solid future there. I put
They
them at
lost to
2.
the Patriots and the Falcons, though. Blown out in both games.
Lost to the
Who's
Patriots.
that?
Oh, God.
Who's that?
Yeah. The Raiders.
That was in the beginning of the year, though, correct?
Part of the season, yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, lots changed since then, for sure. Y'all thought the Patriots were going to win the Super Bowl back then. So, I mean,
I said the
Pretty sure
division.
Chris wasn't. I'm pretty sure Chris wasn't saying that.
I know you were. All right,
I was fired
but
up.
anyways, speaking of the Pats, big win this weekend. Huge win. Game-winning field goal. What'd you guys like? What'd you see?
Let me tell you something right now about the special teams of the New England Patriots. Bill finally got it right. Ever since Joe Judge left, they finally got this bum, Gunnar Olszewski, off the kick return. This guy's an absolute bum. He can't return for shit. Like, he's so bad. And let's go back. Punts, not kick returns. Punts, not kick returns. That guy has no awareness whatsoever. Quarterback play, electric. I think Cam was 5 for 18 for 73 yards. I mean, that throw did you watch the game, Dylan?
I watched a little bit of it. I watched the end.
Did you see the interception with 4 minutes left to go in the game?
I think I remember seeing a very bad interception towards the end of the game.
This guy runs a curl route, one of our 8 stud receivers. You know, I got it mixed up all the time. They're so good. He runs a curl route, just not open. So it's like, fine, all right, next read. Cam's like, no, he's open. Throws it to him. Throws it to the inside of he ran it on the sideline. Throws it to the inside by like 5 feet. And the guy just picks it off. It was unbelievable. And I just think
he hit him right in the chest.
I think the defensive goal line stand was elite. That shows that they actually have some fight, that they want to win. I think that's pretty impressive. But how long is this guy Kingsbury going to get all these he's an offensive mastermind. He sucks.
Awful.
He sucks.
Awful.
The guy can't drop a play on the goal line for any unbelievable. And I was pretty impressed with Gilmore this weekend. He did his job in coverage. 2 bad penalties, but he did his job in coverage. Jason McCourty, this guy sucks. They got to get rid of him. But yeah, basic 20 points. That's all you need. That's all you need for the Patriots to win. This defense can ball if they want to. I was listening to Felger and Maz. They were talking about the great number 41 the Patriots just added. Chris, do you know about him?
No, who did they add?
Number 41. He made 3 big tackles on 3rd down last week. He was also a part of the tackle on the goal line stand. He's some guy off the practice squad. No one knows his name. And so I was very impressed. In the blind side block, that was unbelievable. One of the worst calls I think I've ever seen in my life. The guy sees him, lowers his shoulder going in for the block, The guy, Jennings blocks him. I don't understand. The NFL is so soft.
Did you hear why they ruled that penalty that way? Very strange technicality. It's
Why did they rule it?
you can't the new blindside block rule is that you can't block somebody when they are facing your end zone. So
Oh, that makes sense.
the guy was pursuing him and he came back and hit him in his pursuit. If it was like, like a normal on the line of scrimmage block where they're facing your running back and you're like also like facing them and like going straight, you and your running back are facing the same direction, that block's fine.
Yeah, no, that makes sense because why not just let your guy run with the football, just get tackled?
It's
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, the guy saw him. This guy also had a 70-yard head start too to run into this guy. Jennings planted, took a step, and blocked him. I saw nothing wrong with it. I'm very impressed with I think Belichick just like some weeks he tries on the defensive scheme, and then other weeks he's like, I'm gonna let my kid do it. And clearly one of those weeks was against the Texans because that guy Steve Belichick sucks. And I think Belichick's finally taken over now after the Texans last week. It was a great scheme. I was happy with the win.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say is, as I said it last week, they're 5-6 now. Wouldn't be surprised if they went 5-11. Wouldn't be surprised if they went 10-6. It's unpredictable every week. But I do want to talk about the Cardinals for a second. I disagree with you guys on Kingsbury on the offensive side. Although the team is extremely undisciplined and they are horrible on special teams. Now that I can blame on the coach. But on the offensive side, it's not necessarily the play calling. I think it's more of the scheme. Why do they're on the goal line, they're the 1 yard line at first and goal, and they refuse to go under center. Everything is out of the shotgun. Why? I don't understand that.
Is that not his scheme though?
It is his scheme, but it's not
exactly.
It's not play calling, it's scheme.
It's one of the same.
My biggest concern with him is that he doesn't get the ball in the Hopkins' hands enough. And he doesn't design plays for Hopkins to like get the ball. They do not target him in the first half. And it's not like he's even getting clamped. Like, I mean, Gilmore played a fine game, but he was open on multiple occasions, and Kyler's just not looking that way. Maybe it could have been the shoulder. I don't know. But I have a major problem with Kingsbury and his play calling.
I understand with the shotgun scheme, they want to give Kyler time to use his feet, like be able to read the D-line, the pressure, and then scramble out. But when you do it every time, you're able to just start containing him. And just there's not really much of like a threat of quick passes. It's like a lot of his stuff's downfield, like on the outside the numbers. Like a lot of that
after
sort of stuff.
After Belichick got embarrassed last year on Sunday Night Football, he's now 3-0 against running quarterbacks. It's about time.
We lost to Watson last week.
Huh?
Lost to Deshaun Watson last week.
He's not a running quarterback. He's a creative. He's creative in the pocket. He's like Mahomes. He's not a running quarterback.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, yeah. This past weekend, the Niners finished the sweep of the LA Rams, a team that has a little bit of life in them now. We are also banished from Santa Clara County as of, I think, Saturday night.
That's electric. What an unloyal fan base. What an unloyal fan base.
Unreal.
Just forcing the team out. Unbelievable.
You know what's even worse is that
plastic fan.
So one of my friends, her brother is a fifth-year senior at San Jose State, and they too have to go and find a new home field for the rest of his final season. They can't be in San Jose for anything. It's awful. Like it's really crazy. And the worst part about it is I think that these teams are being the most cautious about this stuff, getting the short end of the stick. Anyways, the Niners, they're now roommates with the Arizona Cardinals. They have a big game coming up against the Bills. If they win this game against the Bills, they have the football team and then the Cowboys. I think those are obviously two very winnable games. So get past
football
the Bills. Yeah, Alex Smith's homecoming, right?
They're winning out. What have I said? They've won 2 in a row. They're winning out.
They're in Arizona. But anyways, if they beat the Bills, which they might be able to, not counting on it, but if they beat the Bills, they're a playoff team again. And I would be very happy with that because I think a good draft pick is kind of out of the equation now. Sort of a similar spot that the Pats are in, So I'm a little bit excited. I think if Jimmy comes back and proves me wrong, I mean, I was saying a couple weeks ago, Jimmy's gone. Get over Jimmy. But if he comes back for week 16 and 17 and they beat the Cardinals and Seahawks in those weeks, he might be the savior yet again. Chris, you don't see it happening?
We're better off with Mullins.
Oh, no. How do you say that when the record with Mullins under center is like
I just saw them win this
5-20?
They won this weekend. What have you done for me lately?
You're better off with like Mac Jones or Zach Wilson or Trask.
That's what I think. I think that they should go with somebody like that who has
But
proven
Nick
that they can
Mullins-
make these throws against high-level competition, like in college, which Garoppolo didn't really do. He may have done it a little bit in Belichick's system and barely last season with the Niners, but it's limiting. What's that? Your mic's all screwed up, Luke.
I said he's a good game manager.
Yeah, barely.
And he wins a lot of games somehow. I don't know how. He just does.
Because he hands the ball off a lot to an effective run team,
Yeah, he makes time to throw sometimes. But he's a solid quarterback. He's solid. He's fine. I mean, the Niners should move on from him. Like he's not a bum like Herbert or Wentz. Like he's not that bad.
Well, I think Garoppolo is worse than Cam Newton.
No. Whoa. No. Worse than Cam? Cam can't throw a football. Garoppolo can throw the football.
Well, Garoppolo can't throw.
Cam cannot throw. What do you mean, dude?
At least Cam can move.
Yeah, okay, sure, I'll give you the mobility, but I'd rather have somebody who can actually throw a football. Cam Newton cannot throw a football.
Garoppolo can't throw a ball.
Garoppolo can. I mean, he sails it every now and then, but he's not like Cam Newton. He's not like Cam Newton where he just literally cannot throw within 5 yards.
Cam Newton on 3rd and 13 made a great run to the outside.
Yeah, Garoppolo can run like that.
Yeah,
I did remember seeing that, but I mean that's not the consistency. Like he
sucks.
That's not consistent. You're not going to be able to consistently run like that unless you're like a Lamar Jackson.
Garoppolo is the least consistent quarterback in the league.
What do you judge? Like, no, that's not true.
Jared Goff.
That's not true.
Jared Goff, that's a good point.
Well, Wentz.
Jared Goff.
Actually, Wentz
Give
is
me
pretty
a Carson
consistent.
Wentz.
Wentz is consistent. He's consistently
He's
terrible.
been consistent as of late, yes. He's having a historically awful season. I didn't really realize that until I saw on Tuesday.
Jalen Hurts time, and that guy sucks too.
Yeah, what are they going to do? I think he wants out. I honestly think that Carson Wentz might want out.
Go where? The Bears?
Maybe. I mean, he's not having a good time where he's at now.
I know, clearly. I mean, it's Philly.
Yeah, it's disgusting. All right, real quick, do you guys want to talk about what you saw last night in college basketball?
Oh, yeah. So this Kentucky team is an absolute disgrace. They're so bad. I mean, I didn't realize that. Like, these guys cannot shoot. Like, I might go try out for the team because this is unbelievable. If I can just stand in the corner and chuck up threes and make one out of every third, they're 3 for 31 in their last 4 halves of basketball shooting 3. 3 for 31. And one of them was a floater that the guy barely had his line. It wasn't even a 3. Like, it wasn't even a shot. He just, threw it up there at the end of the game. This team is awful. Brandon Boston Jr. is the most overrated prospect I've ever seen. NBA scouts are like, this guy's going top 5 in the draft, no doubt. This guy sucks. He sucks. He turns the ball over every 2 times. Every other play he comes up the court, he turns it over. If not, he's just standing in the corner doing nothing. Like, you're supposed to be the leader of the team. Go get the ball. And, I mean, you could see Calipari trying to coach last night, and then he just got out-coached. He got out-coached at the end of the game. He's a good coach, but he got out-coached at the end of the game.
He doesn't coach.
I don't – dude, he's a great coach. But he's in the Hall of Fame, Chris.
He needs to be fired.
He should be fired, really. Really. I don't know. My boy Terrence Clark will start turning around soon, repping for the 617. He didn't have a great game last night, but he was Kentucky's second-best player somehow. It's just it baffles me. And Duke sucks. Duke sucks, too. Every single team that played last night sucks. I mean,
no, Michigan State's good. Michigan State's good.
No, they're not.
The fall of the blue blood. The blue bloods, we've been seeing it the last couple of years. We're seeing it more this year. The other teams are catching up. The one and done strategy does not work. That's my take. The Blue Bloods are falling. North Carolina is the best team out of those Blue Bloods, and they're not even that good. I don't think.
They went like 8-25 last year.
I know, and they're not even that
Barely
good.
beat Stanford.
Kansas sucks. Kentucky sucks. Duke sucks, and we're seeing these teams that aren't traditional programs getting higher. They're still power conference programs, but watch out for this.
I agree. All right, I think that'll do it. That was Straight Out the Lou. Thank you, guys.